What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and we are here to do our weekly recap and review of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. The episode was titled Test of Faith. This was season 5, episode 48, which is ridiculous. Just call it season 6 or whatever the hell you got to do. But we are here, you guys. We do hope that you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to go over each couple and what happened with them throughout the episode in its entirety before we move on to the next. And this week we got to start with Bianca and Daniel. Now we know that Bianca is spoiled. We know that she's unrealistic. We know that she looked dead in the eyes and needs to cut her split ends. And she may be a little bit of an alcoholic. And all of that is good and fine. You know, we can't judge people, but the way that she acts just makes it very hard to be on her side. So Bianca is out with Daniel. They're on a double date with his good friend and his friend's fiance. This should be a simple, normal event, right? No. Bianca throws a hissy fit because Daniel proposed to her over the phone while he was locked up. And being 23 and ignorant and knowing nothing about life, she believed him. So she is now upset that Daniel doesn't want to be engaged to her, to say the least. She throws a hissy fit in front of all these people and leaves. And Daniel was like, let the trick go. Why am I gonna waste my time chasing after this young-minded heifer who's yelling and screaming at me about nothing? I mean, we saw her throw a fit about him not wanting to pour her a cup of coffee, even though she was closer and he had already made her breakfast. Nothing from this woman will I put past her anymore. And I don't care about her history. I don't care about her past. It's not an excuse to act like she does. Bianca, Zaria, and Melissa are tripping. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know, Celeste, the fiance, she goes out to talk to Bianca, and I don't know. It was pointless. You could tell Celeste was uncomfortable. She doesn't know this chick. She's just there for her man. But Celeste was really a good sport. Celeste was a good sport, and I hope that Daniel's friend does right by her. Ain't no way in hell I would have let her be out there by herself. Like, I don't want to make no crazy friend. Now, Daniel eventually goes outside, and she flips out on him, basically, drives off. It seems that he's just tired of being embarrassed by Bianca. I don't blame him. So a couple hours later, because he stayed and enjoyed himself as he should, he goes home, tries to talk to Bianca about her behavior, but the only thing her brain goes to is proposal. I mean, I just want to be proposed. I don't understand. Why would he want to marry you when you're acting like this? Like this, she does not think. And everything that she's complaining about, she asked about. No one told you to move to Arizona. That's what you chose to do. Now, I was thinking during lockup that, or love after lockup, because they should have been on love during lockup. But I was thinking that Daniel was the problem or a little selfish. But now I'm starting to see Bianca is the problem. So the talk goes nowhere. She's focused on the proposal. She's not accountable at all. And Daniel is basically stating that she's going to need to be patient. He's not just going to marry her in these conditions because she's throwing a fit. And that is the truth. You should not marry someone just because they're throwing a fit. You should marry them because you're in love with them and don't want to lose them. But she's making him feel like losing her is not the worst thing. So now Bianca has the audacity to say that she does not know if she can be patient waiting on him to want to marry her. We see her little friend come into town, and this is why the man's not happy. Also, she tells Daniel, "You're going to sleep on the couch. My friend's going to be in our bed with me." Bianca, whatever. We will see more of what happens with them next week. I'm not spending too much time on Bianca and Daniel. They get on my nerves. And I know it just came out. I was on YouTube, and in the YouTube streets on the corners, word on the curb is Daniel is cheating on her. Honestly, good for you, dude. Leave her. May the next one be better. She needs to go to therapy and grow up. That's just my opinion, everybody. If you haven't already liked the video, I do appreciate you. Share the video, all those things, drop a comment, and subscribe. Even better, even better. So the next couple we're going to talk about is Zaria and Troy, another couple where I do not like either of them. Troy is lazy and Zaria is crazy. the morning of their community day that they're having, they need to have 50 kids sign up for Project Heal. I'm not even going to call it a nonprofit because she's insulting us at this point. But before we could even get to the event, and you could always tell because Troy's walking around the house, everything that we need to get done, we need to just do. Whenever people start talking like that instead of naming specific things that they need to get done, that tells me you really ain't got nothing to do. You just trying to look busy and sound important. If you have stuff that needs to be get done, then go get it done, Troy. But we learned that Troy goes out to the car. He can't do nothing because they're putting a boot on the car. Zaria ain't paid her parking tickets. It's also their anniversary, and Zaria is already mad that he has not acknowledged it. So they pay the parking tickets, which I don't know if this was true because I don't believe WeTV. I be thinking some of it's scripted, but she had parking tickets totaling out to a little over 500. So not too much, but enough. Here's my thing. She tells us that she got the boot off her car because somebody donated to Project Heal. And so she has a couple thousand in her account. That money is supposed to go towards funding the community, helping the people that your nonprofit services. It's not for you to pay to get your car out for the boot and to pay your parking tickets. Zaria, that is not what that money is for. And the fact that you were okay to show that is ridiculous. You got a couple thousand in your account from your nonprofit that's supposed to help the children of the community, right? Children that are at risk youth at that, in low poverty. And you're using the money to pay your late parking tickets and your back rent. That's not how nonprofits work. I work for a nonprofit. I work for a nonprofit as a social worker. That's my Monday to Friday. And I it bothers me because we get funding and it goes to our clients and then it comes to us in terms of payments and things like that. So it's very strange that she's just pocketing stuff. But I digress. We then see Zaria flip out randomly because her and Troy get in the car and they're on the way. And she's flipping out about everything. She's mad he ain't acknowledged the anniversary. And she just be cursing and going and going. She's on one. And he is tuning her out on his phone. And she's like, why are you still texting and all this extra stuff? And she ends out basically flipping out so much that she puts him out the car. Production picked him up and had him riding in the back of a van with equipment and um, all of these different things. And I'm just like, why would you put him out of the car? Why would you do that? I don't understand it. I just cannot understand it. That's unforgivable and kind of mean, especially if you know he ain't got no means to get around. But okay, Zaria. And then you wonder why people don't like you. So production picked Troy up, and Troy is talking about he was making a post for her. If you were making a post for her to acknowledge the anniversary, why did you ignore her? But some of the things, even though Zaria's like her way of giving the message, like it's not okay. She says some real stuff like, why are you smoking a blunt and getting high before we go into this event where we're trying to convince kids of the community to do better and be better at all of these things? Like, why are you getting high? So she did have a point. And obviously he don't function too well high because your girl is yelling at you about the anniversary. I would have at least been like, I hear you, babe. I hear you. But he just sat there in the phone. And I'm just like, neither of these people are smart. Neither of these people are smart. So Troy wants the day to be special, even though this is not his company and he don't do anything but roll blunts and let Zaria handle stuff as it relates to this job. But he talks to his mom because his mom is at the train station with his daughter, and his mom has been at the train station with his daughter waiting for 90 minutes. That is a long time. That is an hour and a half for those who are unsure. And I can't understand why you would have your child waiting while this woman freaks out. Send an Uber, ask production, do something, but don't just leave them at the train station, Troy. So the first thing he says is instead of I'm sorry, he says Z's tripping. I need you to put her at ease. And Troy's mom said what we was all thinking, Zaria is problematic. She said, that damn Zaria. Listen, Troy's mom is extra. She's funny. She is a show. And she's a mess too. But Zaria is problematic. And I'm glad the mom pointed it out. Because why do you have your mother-in-law and your stepchild waiting outside while you run around doing shit that you probably should have had done ahead of time. Because I'm like, y'all running in the Home Depot party stores. Why? Why is this being done at the last minute? I didn't understand it. So Troy's mom Karen said that she gonna take the daughter back because they've been waiting too long, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to bring a child around Zaria the way that Zaria was acting, and I don't think Zaria gets that. She's 32 years old. She's too damn big to be acting that way. I'm not even gonna get at her terrible skin. I'm not going. I'm without even getting at her because I'm 32. We are the same age, woman to woman. Zaria, grow the hell up and do better. Do better. So Troy finally meets up with Zaria again, finds out his daughter's not coming, and he's telling her, like, you playing with my daughter. Zaria's freaking out on him, and he ends up walking away from her. I don't blame him. But at the same time, you are responsible for your daughter, not her. You don't have to work so hard to get your daughter around somebody who doesn't have the capacity to learn how to be an adult. I don't think Zaria has the capacity to be cordial with the baby mama. I think Zaria is insecure because she cheated on Troy. And I think now she thinks it's going to happen to her also. She's seeing a psychic and it's all this crazy stuff. So I don't think Zaria ever going to calm down. But Troy needs to be responsible for that. Maybe if you kept the blunt from your mouth, you will remember to get Zaria like, hey, my mom and daughter are waiting. Maybe you could have went to the train station to get your mom and daughter while Zaria was inside of one of them stores. There's a lot that could have been done. But when the first thing you do is wake up and get high, you're not going to think right, especially when you got a woman hollering in your ear. And I don't want nobody coming on my channel talking about, oh, nothing's wrong, get high. Hey, I smoke the devil's lettuce to myself. I do not smoke it at work. I do not smoke it before work. Now, after work is a different story. But I'm not going to get lit right before I have to go to work. No, absolutely not. Moving on, y'all. We gonna get to the next couple, which is Brittany and Key Rock. Ooh, 3 for 3. This is another couple that pissed me off. Key Rock pissed me off. Brittany pissed me off, but I was here for his family. Shout out to Key Rock's family for being the MVP, child. So we see them going to Texas, and we know that Brittany's on probation. She can't get off probation. She's got restitution, all this stuff. She gets a travel pass so she could go to Texas for 30 days. But she has to leave or she'll violate her parole and she could potentially go back to prison and do the rest of her time. So while they're in Texas, they see Key Rock's mom, Tammy. And this is where Tammy learns that Brittany has the travel pass and she'll only be in town for a short time. And Key Rock's mom is bringing up the fact that we've all been thinking since Love During Lockup, Brittany needs to get a damn job. When we met Brittany, she was in beauty school. She was working at a restaurant. She was doing so much. Now that Key Rock is out, Brittany ain't doing nothing. She's not working. She's not in school. She doesn't do anything. Now, Key Rock's mom tells her she needs to get a job, and Key Rock's, I think it's his brother or somebody, whoever the dude was there. I was here for everything he had to say. He asked Brittany, like, hey, why'd you drop out of school? And Brittany didn't have an excuse. She looked stuck. You see what? I had to drop out. Why did you have to drop out if you were living with Key Rock's family, not paying rent, not having to pay for food, able to drive your own car? Like, why did you have to drop out? You didn't have to drop out. And Key Rock is probably the type of dude, from what we're seeing now, who you probably didn't even have to be working and doing all of that while he was in college or while he was locked up. You could have probably been focusing on school and getting more done. This girl is lazy. And she's only 23, so I'm not going to be too hard on her. But at the same time, with her situation, not dealing with family, you can't just go from person to person to take care of you, Brittany. You got to do your own stuff. Even your crime. She's locked up for basically setting somebody up to get robbed and beaten. Like, Brittany is lazy. She'll do whatever for the quickest way to get money. I do not respect people like that. I especially do not respect women like that, especially women of color. You are a Hispanic woman, Brittany. Hispanic, brown, black people, they look at us and expect us to be lazy, not want to do certain things. And I'm looking at her like, what are you doing, girl? But okay, Brittany. So The family friend tells Key Rock after asking Brittany, like, well, why you drop out of school? Why you not working? You're going to need two incomes. Texas is much more expensive than the state they're living in. And that's what people don't understand. They moved to Texas because they're like, ooh, opportunity. However, comma, it's not like it was maybe 10 years ago when people relocated to Texas. As people moved to Texas, for instance, I'm from California, and people from California flocked to Texas. I mean, half of the Bay Area is in Texas right now. Right now, they drive up the cost of living for, Texas. And the same thing happened when the Bay Area got gentrified. Everybody want to move here, get a tech job. Everyone want to come to LA and think they're going to be a superstar. Raise the cost of living. That's what happens. So Key Rock's family is right to tell her you're going to need multiple incomes. Get off your ass and work, Miss Ma'am. And I'm just glad that Key Rock's, family was like, she's bullshitting and has no plan, and she needs a plan. And you could just see that Brittany is young minded at times. So to top it off, Brittany is complaining after the family leaves to Key Rock. Key Rock's got to get ready for work. He got a job. Brittany's family member did help him to get a job in HVAC, and he has to start work the next day. Key Rock's also been extremely stressed out because he's paying for everything, handling everything, and Brittany's just sitting on her ass spending like they rich. Now, she's washing dishes, cleaning up after the family comes, and she wants him to help her. But he wants to lay down and prepare for work because he's tired. He's lifted everything from the move. He's, all this stuff. So Key Rock's like, babe, please give me a break. And they start getting into a little back and forth. And in my opinion, Brittany's dumb because she really tries to say to Key Rock that her cooking for him is the equivalent of him working. Listen, let me tell y'all something. As quiet as it's kept, if you really know how to cook, you just cooking some meals for your spouse and keeping the house clean, especially when you ain't got no kids. It's not the equivalent of working a full-time job. It is not. It's just not. And they get into this argument, and it's very clear that she's spoiled. She starts speaking Spanish, storms out on Key Rock. She's trying to make it seem like Key Rock has to help her with the housework when he's the only person paying the bills and providing the house. The least you could do is clean it. And then in addition to her not wanting to work and not wanting to do nothing, which Key Rock does acknowledge, he don't think she want to work. Sis, you want to have the most expensive things, the lavish of lavish. And it seems like whenever people talk to her about her spending and her not working, her go-to response since she's been on this show, oh yeah, see, I haven't been getting my nails done, as her nails are done. And long as hell too, looking stupid. Brittany, go get you a job. I haven't found anything that I like or that pays me enough. Baby girl, you are a felon with no degree, no high school diploma. You are a felon with the bare minimum. You're young. You have no work experience barely, aside from restaurants, which don't count because they'll hire any damn body. No education, nothing. Of course, you're not going to find a job that pays you what you want. You got to work towards that. I'm starting to think that Brittany's family is not that bad. They may be conservative in their views of Key Rock because Key Rock was born a woman and wants to be acknowledged as a man, as transgender. However, her parents are devout Catholics and they are entitled to their religious beliefs, and they're not disrespecting Key Rock. So they are entitled to that. Is giving that Brittany's issue with her family is they actually want for her and push her to get off her ass. And I think she rebelled and is just still rebelling. And hopefully someday she gets it together. But Brittany, not a man, not a woman who's now a man, not none of it. Nobody. I don't care who you date. Not a gay man, not the leopard that you see at the local zoo. Nobody gets to just get by for free. You got to get off your ass and get a job, baby girl. You just do. You just do. I done worked everything from fast food to security. Now I'm a social worker. I went to school, thank God. But I done worked everything from fast food to security. I done sold cars, been a telemarketer. Do what you got to do. But make your money. If you want nice things, work for it, Brittany. That's all I'm saying. So I didn't have much empathy for her in the episode. And where Key Rock disappointed me. I feel like he could have laid down the law a little bit more, a little better. That's just my personal opinion. I think the most successful relationships of any sort, whether it's a friendship or a relationship with someone you're dating, be honest. Let them know when they're wrong. Call them out on their shit, but do it in a way that's not volatile, you know? But we'll see what happens with this lazy heifer and her red hair. Want to have expensive things, but don't want to work. Make it make sense. Moving on, y'all. Like the video if you haven't already. Justine and Michael, we are going to discuss next. Not much happened with them. You know, I'm not really interested in them being on the show so much, but I get that they're gonna keep coming back because they got a tribe of kids and they need to check. So we learned that Michael was the one who did not want to tell Justine's mom about the pregnancy. Now, this lady is due. The pregnancy is done. She about to give birth around the time of one of her other kids' birthday parties. And Michael not wanting to tell the mom about the pregnancy because Justine's mom keeps it real. And Justine kind of reminds me of like Brittany or Bianca, all grown up. Like she just wants this fairy tale and she doesn't want to listen to anybody else and what they have to say, to points where she'll put her body, her children, her family, and everybody at risk just so she could have another child that she was advised not to have when she had her last one. So Justine is equally dumb, just like Brittany, even though there's a little bit of an age difference. Michael, you're being petty. Her mom had every right to raise concerns about you guys having a child so soon. You got pregnant, Justine, less than a month after this man was freed from prison. So you didn't even get time to fully be together and know each other free before having kids. They don't even know each other. As quiet as it's kept, they don't. They she been pregnant the whole time he's been free. So how can you bond? Where's the time? So it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But Justine's mom kept it real. She's like, wow, you guys are gonna have 7 kids and all of this, and that's crazy. And Justine really, in my opinion, don't have too much of a reason to be mad at her mom. She just doesn't. But they do tell her mom on FaceTime that she's having another baby. The mom is like, whoa, what the hell? Freaks out. And then to add salt to the wound, they explain to Justine's mom that not only are they having another baby, but the mom is supposed to be coming in town within a few days. And when she comes in town, is for one of her grandkids' birthday parties. And the day after the birthday party, Justine is scheduled to have her cesarean and give birth. And she just now telling her mom this. The mom don't even know it's high risk plan. So of course Justine's mama freaks out. She's like, you guys are about to have 9 kids. That is crazy. Like, there's no way you can balance that. And Justine sitting there acting like we should feel bad for her. But baby girl, we agree with your mama. This is too many damn kids. It's too many kids. It's not 1962 anymore. People can't afford to have this many doggone kids no more. Inflation is real, cost of living is high. Schools, unfortunately, in real life are dealing with mass amounts of violence. Like, the world is a fragile place right now. So you definitely want to make sure that you're thinking things through thoroughly when you have a kid. And Justine just seems like, oh, I have a man. I want to have a kid with him because all my other kids are with other people. And nothing's wrong with that. Like, it's almost like she needs babies with him to feel validated. I'm not saying she doesn't love her kids. I'm not saying she's a bad mom, but it doesn't make sense to keep doing this. And you're mad at your mama for telling you the truth, but you can't pinpoint anything else that your mom has said or done to you that's so bad. Even the doctors are telling you you're stupid for this. At some point, Justine, it's like medical professionals don't agree with you. The audience doesn't agree with you. Your mother doesn't agree with you. Like, your mother-in-law, your kids don't agree with you. She's just doing everything to focus on herself, and I think it's going to come back and bite her. Please help bring these people back to the show. I'm really bored of this storyline, and I just can't get with it. Is she just going to keep getting pregnant season after season, and then it's going to be a problem with the in-laws? I think this couple is fine in real life. I think that Justine loves Michael. I think that Michael loves Justine. I think they have too many kids, but I don't see them breaking up. I don't see bad things happening with the kids. The kids seem like good kids. So, I mean, for TV purposes, I don't care. I don't need to see Manhattan, Malibu Barbie, whatever the hell her child's name is. I don't care to see her grow up. I'm sure she'll do great things just as her siblings are. But yeah, please keep Michael and Justine off our show. I don't need them. That's what I'm gonna say. Moving on, beautiful people. Melissa and Louie. Melissa, you and that nasty nose I'm getting tired of you talking about how you wanted Louie in high school. This is a 41-year-old woman. Why are you still focused on high school? Let it go. She's excited to be engaged to Louie. She says it's a full circle moment to have a crush from high school turn into this. And she claims she's terrified of Donna being her mother-in-law. I don't think Donna's so bad. I think that Donna's bad for people who are not right for Louie. I think the circumstance that Donna had to meet Melissa makes it worse than it is. But I don't think Donna's that bad. I think Melissa's the problem and her nasty, judgmental family. Culture vultures, I'll call them. Her sister. I can't stand them. Any of them. Now, Melissa's sister, Sherry, picks up Donna. They're going to go wedding dress shopping, even though she just got engaged. There's no wedding plan. And Donna is mad that Melissa's looking at gowns and did not pick her up. She says that ordinarily the bride should be kissing the mother-in-law's ass. Listen, Donna, I was with you till you said that. The bride, it's her moment as a bride. I don't even like Melissa, but it's her moment. She don't need to be focused on kissing your ass. She needs to give you a seat at the wedding, invite you to the rehearsal dinner, and be there for you for if they have kids together, be there for their kids or something. But you don't need to kiss your mother-in-law's ass. You're not marrying your mother-in-law. You're marrying your husband. That's just my opinion. Be respectful, but you don't need to kiss her ass. Now, while Melissa's trying on gowns, her sister Sherry and her friend are basically talking crap about Louie. They're saying, we don't know how he afforded the ring. The ring's probably a fake. Oh, he makes pizza. And I'm like, you judgmental heifers. Where are your men? Where are they at? That's the sister that had them dreadlocks and was looking a fool. Why are you culture appropriate? Be quiet. Just be quiet to speak so negatively about this person. What if their relationship works? And then years later, he don't want nothing to do with y'all. Don't trust y'all along with his kids, things like that, because of how you acting. Like, stop. I cannot stand Melissa's sister or her friend. It was just so judgmental because, if you go to prison for like doing bad things to children, harming the elderly, like, robbing innocent people in violent ways, fine. Then I'm like, I don't know about you. But Louis had a drug problem. He struggled. He's gotten out. He hasn't gotten arrested again. He stayed sober. When he couldn't find a job, he found 2 different side hustles and has found a way to make money and cared about this woman so much that he used his life savings and committed to save. So it shows he's good with money to get her the ring of her dreams. And instead of being happy for Melissa, you bitches want to talk about Louie. Nasty. That's why people be not trusting clear people in their intentions. Because look at this. Look how they, Ain't no way. So Donna hears him talking about her son and she walks up and she's like, do y'all think I'm deaf? And she says that she will kick someone's ass over family. I hear you, Donna. I'm with it. So it's just, they don't really have much to say. But Melissa, I'm getting disgusted with you. I would never allow my family members to feel comfortable enough to even discuss my man like that. He chose you to be his wife. You've gotten everything that you've wanted from this man, and you choose to complain and let your insecurities cause all sorts of problems. You need to put your friend and your family in their place and check them, because you're not too cute that he won't leave you for somebody that look better. I'm just saying, Melissa. I'm just saying. It's not okay. If anybody feels differently, let me know. I would love to hear your perspective, but Melissa was thoroughly tripping. So the next couple we gonna discuss, y'all, is Kim and Joey. Joey's been acting weird. He went to the urgent care complaining about his stomach hurt. I had a friend who unfortunately was with a man. She had a child with him. He was struggling with drugs. She didn't know at the beginning. He struggled with opioids, pills, uppers, cocaine, really bad. And he would always, like, if he was too lit the night before to go to work or something, he'd always end up in urgent care or the ER, talk about his stomach hurt. So as soon as Joey was like, he had to go to the ER because his stomach hurt, I was like, oh yeah, homeboy back on drugs. He's definitely back on drugs. So Kim then tells us that she had $100 in the joint account. She says that Joey no longer uses their card because she tracked everything. And I've been said, I think he being tracked. Joey has stopped using the card and only goes to ATMs so that Kimberly is unable to track what he's spending, where the money's going, all of these things. He comes home because he only left $4 in the account. So he comes home, talk about he has a splitting headache. Kimberly tries to talk to him after putting her kids to sleep, and she's like, you need to take a drug test. And she tells him, she's like, if you take this drug test, I won't question you no more. And Kim makes it very clear. She's like, I done been with alcoholics, but I don't do drug addicts. I would actually sometimes rather date a drug addict than an alcoholic, thinking about it. Because alcoholics be tripping. They be tripping. Lord, they be tripping. But, to me, there's no difference in badness. Like, how can you be okay with an alcoholic but not a drug addict? It's all an addiction. It's just to something different. But we know that Kim is an ignorant dingbat and also a little bit of a thought. But, it is what it is. And she's somebody I don't feel bad for at all. Because she was stupid to get with him. So she gives him the drug test. And he only takes the drug test because he's like, well, hell, she'll shut the hell up if I take it. And he avoids taking the test for like an hour. He's like, I can't pee. Oh, I just pee. Let me drink this orange juice. Drinking it from the bottle and stuff. If you think he on drugs, don't have him drink it from the bottle of orange juice the household shares. Hell no. You get your ass a cup and keep your mouth away from this bottle. But I get it. He finally pees and he tests positive for cocaine. And Kim is like, I don't get it. If it was cocaine, he'd be up. Kim, I know you a school teacher and you a hoe, but you're not a drug addict. Baby girl, there's things that people do to it. What do they do to make it crack? I'm not sure what they do to make it crack, but I know it involves boiling water or something because I watched The Wire. And so I knew. But she doesn't understand that like cocaine can be broken down into other forms, and depending on the form, it cannot make you so, as an upper. Like Joey swears that he ain't done no drugs and there's something wrong with that test. All I'm gonna say is I'm not surprised. I hope that he does get sober. Kimberly is not responsible for this man's relapse because he had a drug problem, but she knew what she was getting into when she got with Joey. He's never had a successful relationship. He's never been faithful. Hell, he almost cheated on her, but the other chick did not show up. But he tried to cheat. He sure did. But is Joey, there's so many red flags that showed he's not ready for the relationship. And then in addition to that, you add the pressure of having to raise someone else's kid, wondering if one of her sons belongs to him. You thinking your girl is divorcing and she hasn't even filed for divorce at all. So there's a lot of factors that have stressed him out. And I knew he was going to go back to drugs when he had the opportunity to find jobs and get into other stuff. But he was like, I'm not going to find a job I want and all of this. And I'm like, you have reason to be picky, but okay. We'll see if Joey gets sober and if Kim stays with her. She's like, I got to think about my babies. Okay, Kim. You weren't thinking about them when you moved a felon in the house that you couldn't really trust with this history. Now you suddenly got to think about your babies. Girl, bye. She one of them bullshit ass mamas who I got to think about my babies. If you have to say that out loud, then you already have made them an afterthought in some way. Just a fact. So the last couple we gonna discuss, and I'd appreciate it if everybody would like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love and appreciate all of you. Happy holidays as well. I will be cooking at the end of all of these lives for a very long time. Tina and Rob are okay. They asked the kids if they would be open to having a sibling. The kids say okay to their parents' face, but Teeny's kids are smart. To the confessional, the kids are like, this is a little much and it doesn't make sense for them to do that. I'm gonna tell you this about Love After Lockup as a franchise. The kids always have more sense than their parents. Their parents be slow and delayed at their thought process, but the kids have sense. The kids are like, don't you think you should wait? Why y'all trying to have a baby? You just fought his mama. Like, how the kids figure that out? An 11-year-old can figure it out, but two 34-year-olds can't figure it out. I can't. I just cannot. But Teeny's sister gets to meet Rob in person finally, and he lets it out the bag that him and Teeny want to have a baby. And then he walks off because her sister gets emotional about them having a baby. And they ask how the kids, you know, before I go further, Teeny's sister getting emotional did make sense once they explained it. Her first child's father passed away. The second child's father wasn't involved, and she had a high risk delivery. She almost passed, her kid got sick. So I can understand the fear around getting pregnant. Teeny doesn't seem very confident either when she talks about having a baby with Rob, because you could tell that she's okay with the kids that she has now, and she probably wants to wait. But I feel like Teeny might be scared to tell Rob no, thinking that Rob may not want her no more, because tell that man no if you know that he cares about you and you got all these concerns, especially with what happened to her with her last child. His heart stopped. Like, that's so scary. I cannot imagine going through that. So, and that made her blood pressure go up, all these crazy things. But Teeny's sister's emotional. I think it's a little much. But while that is happening with Teeny and her sister, Rob's dumbass walks off and asks the kids how they feel about being around his mama. I know that the lights are on in his head, but there's not always somebody in the room, because why would you ask them that? And the kids make it very clear the only way we're going to be around her is if she apologizes. I don't see Rob's mom apologizing. The way that Rob's father, Rob, even Rob's mom, and Teeny have described his mom, she more about the money. She don't care if her son end up in prison. She don't care if her son breaking the law. All she cares about is he gonna take care of me? And that's not what you're supposed to do as a parent. You're supposed to raise your children to be able to take care of themselves and start their own family and expand their, the family. That's not what you're supposed to do. Um, the kids are right that Rob's mom needs to apologize for the yelling, but Teeny, that's still your elder. You didn't have to put your hands on that old lady. Of course you knocked her down. She old. All she can do is yell anymore. But I also think that Rob's mom is like extremely immature and needs to grow up a little bit. She just seemed like a ratchet hood baby mama that never grew. That's just what I get from his mama. But the kids are not here for it. They say she gonna need to apologize. Um, but yeah, it's just very strange, the whole baby situation. Y'all think Rob and Teeny gonna have a baby? I don't. I don't think they'll have a baby. I don't. Why would you decide to have a baby when you guys were just stressed out saying that Teeny needs to find a job? Because she's gonna have to leave that job if she had the baby, and they don't always pay you as much in maternity leave as people would think. So yeah, very, very strange, but we'll see what happens with them. I know that we don't have too many episodes left of this because Love During Lockup comes back December 13th. And yes, I will be recapping it. I always recap it. But I don't know. Love After Lockup, they need to figure it out. Zaria and Troy, I don't like. Bianca and Daniel, I don't like. Melissa, I don't like her. Love Louie. Brittany, she's young. I don't dislike her. But her and Key Rock, I don't know why they're keeping them on here. Justine and Michael can go. Tinny and Rob are good for the show, but I don't know. Something about him is a little bit off, and something about her is off. And Kim and Joey, take them rednecks and put them somewhere else. Yes, I said it. They are both a joke. Joey is a damn drug addict who ain't never gonna stop. And Kim was thoughting and plotting all throughout the country. Ain't divorced. I don't care to see these people. And now I'm gonna be a good mom. I gotta think about these babies. You wouldn't think about these babies when you moved a random felon in the house. Girl, bye. So that's my recap of everything that happened on this episode. Love and light to all of you. Sincerely, I don't know if everybody here watches my other recaps. If you do, yay. If not, happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates. Happy holidays. I hope that everybody eats well, is warm, and has a good upcoming Thanksgiving. So I will see you guys on the next recap, which will be Love and Hip Hop Miami and Housewives of Beverly Hills, which will be with Watch Your Mouth reviews. Adios.